Hi everyone, I'm Marilyn from Trembling Art, and today I'm going to talk about all the information you can find on your paint tubes. Most people just, when they start out, they just look at the color name and pick from there. But there's so much more information that you can get from the tube that will help you decide which color and even which brand that you should be using for your particular painting. I use acrylics, but oil paints and watercolor paints all have the same information on the tubes. So I'll just show you what information you can find and where to find it and why it's important. So let's get started. So of course the first thing that all tubes have is the name of the color, and each manufacturer has slightly different pigment amounts, or in the case of multi-pigment paint, slightly different pigment colors. So when you buy a new tube of paint that you haven't used before, it's a good idea to swatch it out. I'll show you Phthalo Blue. I have one in Liquitex and one that's very old in Winsor and Newton, and I'll just show you on this paper here how they can slightly vary, and it may not make a difference to your painting, but sometimes it's important, the color itself that you're trying to get. So this is the Liquitex Phthalo Blue, and this is the Winsor and Newton Phthalo Blue. And I don't know if the screen will pick that up, but the Winsor and Newton is slightly darker. So, you know, if you're going for a deep dark Phthalo Blue, the Winsor and Newton would probably work better than the Liquitex. I don't know if you can see the difference with the glare. Anyway, so other than the color name, which most people look at first, there's also pigment numbers on the paint. So let's take a pure pigment here. So this one is Phthalo Blue, and the pigment number is usually listed. A lot of them have it on the front. This says PB15. The P means pigment. The B is for blue. 15 is that particular pigment number. Cerulean blue has multiple different pigments in it, so it's not a pure pigment. This is a one pigment paint, this Phthalo Blue. The cerulean blue has PB29, so there's blue. PB15, 3, so there's another blue pigment. PG7, so the G, it means green, so there's a little bit of green in there. And PW6, so that's white. W is the white. So that's pretty easy to figure out. The P means pigment, and the next letter would be like B for blue, W for white, Y for yellow. And the number is the particular yellow pigment that they used. Most of them have the pigment numbers on the front. Some have them on the back, and harder to see when you're older, but they will be listed on the back side of the paint tube. Some of the jars will have them on the side down here, lots of information. And the reason why it's important to know what pigment is in the paint is, for instance, if you're mixing paint, say you're going to mix a purple. So you take your blue and you take your red, but the red has a little bit of yellow in it. And when you mix the blue and the red with a little bit of yellow, you're actually getting all three primary colors together. So you'll end up with a duller purple. So if you want to mix a bright purple, try and find a blue. That's a single pigment, sorry, like phthalo blue. And this one is the green shade. So if you're going to use a phthalo blue to mix purple, find the one that's the red shade. And the red should have no yellow in it. So you want a red that's either a pure pigment or one that leans more towards or has a little bit of blue in it. Anyway, I explain all about color mixing in multiple videos I have about color mixing, and I'll link that playlist in the card above. Okay, so on to the next step, Lightfastness rating. So professional acrylic or oil or watercolor should have excellent lightfastness, and that means it will not fade for at least 100 years, if not more. So most of the paints, professional paints, also have the lightfastness rating on the front. In this Liquitex one, as a little star symbol or a little sun symbol with a 1 in it. 1 means excellent. Some of them have maybe 2. Let's see if I got one here. Yeah, so Liquitex has it on the front. Winsor & Newton has it listed on the back, Lightfastness 1. So look for a 1 or a 2, sometimes a 3, Lightfastness. Don't use anything less than that because it will fade given a couple of years. And if you're selling your art, you don't want a customer to buy a painting that's and hang it on their wall and it's going to fade in a couple of years. They won't be very happy. So that's why it's important to know the lightfastness of the paint. Next, we're going to look at the opacity. So paints can be very opaque, like a white, or semi-transparent, or completely transparent. So let's look at manganese blue. Is this little symbol here. Because it's an empty square, that means it's transparent. Let's see. I think I got, okay, this one is, the square is half full, or half blacked out, so that means it's semi-transparent. And let's see, of course, white is very opaque. You can see from the completely blacked in square. So let's show you, we'll move these paints, and I'll show you the difference. So manganese blue, it says it's transparent. So if we paint a bit over our black line, you can see the black line easily through the paint. So a transparent paint would be really good if you're doing like glazes, thin washes of color over another color. You wouldn't cover, with the transparent paint, you wouldn't cover up the color, but you would get a subtle change in the tint. So let's see. We'll choose Hooker's Green. This is semi-transparent. So it's, while it's not fully transparent like the manganese, it does have better coverage. To me, that is pretty good coverage. But as it dries, you will see, and I can already see the black line coming through. So it doesn't quite cover up what's underneath, but it gives it a more solid coverage than the transparent paint. And of course, white. White is very opaque. I got my fingers covered. See, it completely covers the line. So you can pick the paint based on what you're actually going to do. So if if you're doing a light wash or a glaze, then you want something that's transparent or at the very least semi-transparent. If you want to completely cover up a mistake you made, use something that's completely opaque. So remember, the transparent would have an empty square and the opaque would have a completely blacked in square. And a lot of tubes will show you with a swatch on black lines such as this how transparent it is. And some don't have the black line, but that one does. But this one doesn't. But it will have the information somewhere on the back. Most have them on the front these days. Thank goodness, because it's easier to see. Series number. Some manufacturers put a series number on there, like this Winsor & Newton has a series 2. All that really means is that the pigment that it contains is more expensive. So a 1 is cheaper to make than a 5. The higher the number, the more expensive the pigments are. Cadmiums tend to be high because cadmium is an expensive pigment, and I tend to move away from cadmium because it is slightly toxic. So these days we have things like cadmium U's, which don't actually contain the cadmium. That's what I tend to buy. Some of them also have a permanence rating. This one here has a permanence of A, which is excellent. And all that means is that the paint itself holds up better over time. It won't crack and deteriorate, and, other than the fading, right? All paints have the volume, of course. This is 59 milliliters or 2 US fluid ounces. Here in Canada, most paints have both the milliliters and the ounces. So, and all paints have the manufacturer's information, the name of the company that made it and where it was made, if that's important to you. And also, if you have questions about the particular brand of paint, all the bigger name paint companies, such as Liquitex or Winsor & Newton, all have, and Golden too, all have wonderful websites with a wealth of information about pigment numbers and composition of the paint, and the Lightfastness ratings, and anything that you would want. A lot of them too have like tips for painting and all kinds of interesting information. And I'll link a few of the manufacturers' websites in the description below. So that's about it. And I would suggest, if you buy a new tube, especially if a brand that you haven't used before, to swatch them out and do a little line and swatch over them, because even though they give the opacity on the paint tube, some of them, especially the lower end paints, it's not always 100% accurate. So you want to try that out. Yeah, once you understand what all these symbols and numbers mean on the paint, it makes picking out the paint that you want to buy, because artist paint is very expensive. So you want to get the right one. You don't want to have to, buy 3 or 4 different tubes until you find what one you're looking for. So knowing all this information can be very helpful. Anyway, I hope this was helpful to you, and I hope you learned something today. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments and I'll try and answer in a future video. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And you can also check out my blog post if you want to get a closer look at the paint tubes and then what all the numbers mean. and I'll link that below also. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.